Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing well. This project is a chilled one. This is a project for all of the family that everyone can get involved in, and this is air dry clay. You guys know I love me some air dry clay. I found these. Now these are cookie cutters from Hobbycraft, but they come in two parts. So each and every cookie cutter has a stunning embossed section and also the outside cutter to actually cut it out. And whilst these are designed for biscuits and cookies, obviously I don't bake. You know I had to use them with air dry clay, but not just any air dry clay. I am using the Daz Terracotta, which is going to give us some adorably cute gingerbread cookies. Look at these. How stunning are these? Again, these are from Hobbycraft here in the UK, so an alternative in your country may be any art store or Hobby Lobby, or even I would say like a bakery store, to be honest. Anywhere you can buy baking supplies. The Daz air dry clay I bought from The Works, which is a shop here in the UK, and it was £4 for a 1 kg kit. It goes a long way. First up, I had a play with the Play-Doh, kind of just molding it in my hands, getting it ready to use, and then I rolled it out. I did add a little bit of water just to make the surface a bit smoother. I'm not the best at getting the smoothest results on my air dry clay. First up is the cookie. Guys, my brain. The gingerbread house cookie cutter is adorable. Again, the details on these are amazing. Now, my first attempt wasn't that great. I realized you have to press real firm down onto the embossing section before lining up the cutter. Now, to line up the cutter, you really just have to be directly above it. You have to be right on top of it, and there's around about 2 mil around that you just need to make sure you line it up perfectly in order to cut it out. So yeah, the first one, it went a bit messy, but it all worked and it's okay. But I soon learned that pressing firmly on the embossing section was the way forward. And then, yeah, each and every one, I just spent some time really making sure that that outside cutter was perfectly lined up. Now, if you've been with me more than a year, if you were here last Christmas, you'll know that I fell in love with this air dry clay. It is the messiest air dry clay ever because it literally cakes your hand in a thick gooey layer of terracotta clay and your hands go orange. But it's so fun to work with, especially if you're doing anything gingerbread and Christmas related, because it's already pretty much, I mean, it's very orange, but it's pretty much okay. It's the perfect colour to use for your gingerbread creations. And if you were with me last year, you'll know that I made some gorgeous gingerbread men and gingerbread houses using this exact clay and some white puffy paint. And I'm telling you now, they are up there as one of my favourite creations because they're just so therapeutic. For me, air dry clay is therapy. It is a literal escapism. The best part for me is that it's not, do you know what I mean, guys? It's not resin. You can take your snacks upstairs, you can get your cup of tea, put your music on. Well, you can put your music on anyway, but you can just really, really relax with air dry clay. There's no stress or pressure of having to wear any kind of PPE. Just have fun, put your music on, and grab your cup of tea. Here we are looking good. We are looking so good. My favourite so far is the stocking with the teeny tiny miniature little gingerbread man on there. I just think it's adorable. Now, that was me digging my nails into the clay accidentally, so do be careful if you're doing it like I am and you're trying to fit them all on one sheet. My nails did accidentally dig in. Just be aware that that can happen. Pressing the embossed section down was probably the hardest part because you don't want to press it too far down. You don't want to go all the way through the clay. Equally, you want to make sure that you've got a really good solid image when you do pull your embossing section away. And of course, my hands are caked in clay and they're slippery, and trying to pull that section off. It's all worth it in the end though. This is what they are all looking like. And as you would if you were making biscuits or cookies, you simply peel away the rest of the clay that's not needed. And then I used my clay blade, the blade I have for polymer clay. These would look beautiful on polymer clay as well. I mean, they just really, really would. And I used my blade to peel them away from the tile surface that I'm working on, just to put them over on a wooden board ready for them to dry. Now, before I left them alone for a few days or up to a week, I'm just going all around the edges to make sure that the edges are nice and neat. And this is what we're looking like. They are just adorable. 1 week later, fully dry, beautiful, gorgeous. They literally look like cookies. I mean, they could do with a little bit of texture, maybe a lighter shade of gingerbread cookie, but they definitely look like Christmas cookies, right? I decided to try some texture. Now, I wasn't sure if they were just lacking in that realness, you know, that gingerbread cookie crumb consistency. So I figured I would try something I've seen on so many polymer clay TikToks, and use some sandpaper. Roll the sandpaper over the surface of the clay to create some kind of crumb texture. Now, it definitely worked. Look at this. It looks more like a house brick texture, to be honest. I didn't really know. I didn't feel like it was worth it, because by the time you've pressed your embossing section of the cookie cutter in, once you've pressed that in, it's almost like it flattens it out again. So whilst there was a little bit of texture left, I'm just not sure that extra step would be worth it. Now, of course, you could use a firm bristle brush. You could use a firm old toothbrush that you've just got laying around and you don't use for your teeth anymore. You could use any kind of tool that is going to be able to give you a textured surface, but I wasn't feeling the textured surface. I did try it twice. I was like, let me just try it, see what I think. Is it going to give me more of a realistic kind of cookie, biscuity surface? I don't really know. I mean, yeah, it didn't fill my heart with joy, so I decided not to make a second batch of cookies like they're real. And I just left out the texturing process. If I'm honest, I just feel like non-textured works just as well as textured. So definitely take this on board if you feel like doing this. You could use anything bristly to texture your surfaces, but this is what we're looking like. We're going to show you a side-by-side of the textured surface cookie and the non-textured surface cookie. Let me know what you think, and whether you would have gone full on texture, or this one here, which wasn't textured, but still to me, still looks kind of like textured. So yeah, wasn't worth it in my eyes, but here we are. It is now time to hang them on the tree, and this could not be any easier. Now, if you really wanted to, you could cut holes in the tops of your cookies with your straw to make pre-cut holes. I don't like that look on these, so I'm going simple, old school, hot glue and string. And I'm using this gorgeous candy cane string, simple dab of hot glue on the backs of each one. And I'm simply using the actual hot glue gun to push that string down into the hot glue blob, because I can't find my hot glue fingers. I've got some silicone hot glue fingers somewhere. I was looking everywhere for them just so that I could press it down myself, but yeah, it was always the way. Moving house, I'm telling you, the amount of things I can't find is unreal, but I'll get there eventually. Sped this bit up for you because, of course, no one wants to sit through this in real time. A simple blob of hot glue on the back of your air dry clay. Shove the string in the hot glue. Shove the nose of your hot glue gun down into the string to shove it into the glue. And that's pretty much all you have to do. Now, here's the thing. I picked this one up and the string simply fell off. So hot glue does actually peel off of air dry clay. Now, not easily, not really easily. You do have to physically do it. But I decided that just in case, just in case. I do want these to last. I want these on my tree. I'm going to just reinforce all of those string backs with some of the super glue. Now again, optional, really optional. You can see how messy my backs are at this point, but they're going on my tree, so I don't care. As long as no one turns them around, we're all good. I'm just adding on some of that super glue over the top of the string to keep it in place, and was hoping that that would be it. Well, it is it so far. So far, so good. So it is all totally worth it. Now they are up on the tree. Now, would you paint them? Let me know. For me, if I was making biscuits at home, if I was using these tools for biscuits, I wouldn't be painting them afterwards. They would literally just be decorated embossed biscuits. But would you go ahead and now paint these? The option is there, of course. If you used white air dry clay, you could then paint these in all of the beautiful Christmassy colours. But it wasn't something I personally wanted to do. I wanted them to look like cookies. So let's move on from last year's videos. These are some videos that I filmed last year. So we've got the air dry clay gingerbread man, the gingerbread house. We've got all of these beautiful reindeer, Father Christmas's reindeer. Ooh. You know the story, 'twas the night before Christmas. And yeah, I did this video last year. So I've got all of my handmade Christmas tree decorations on one tree, and I absolutely love them. But here we are, back at today's video, the air dry clay gingerbread Christmas cookie tree decorations. I think they're absolutely adorable. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you feel inspired. I do love me a bit of air dry clay at Christmas. This one is simple, guys. So much fun, so relaxing. Like I said, get the family involved, get your cup of tea, get your snacks, get your Christmas music on. You can all sit round the table and do this together. Doesn't have to be family either. I don't have any family living really near me. So for me, this would be a friends night in, you know, gather all your friends and just have a fun adult party making your air dry clay decorations. Because that to me sounds like the best night in. Christmas movie, bottle of wine, even though I don't drink, but I can see it now. Have fun. I hope you feel inspired, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.